we'll start. So I'm here today with Neil, who owns God's Grace. She's a Voyage 50.
Exactly.
And actually number 50 as well.
Hull number 40, the very 40. Last Voyage they made in the 50-foot version, and custom made. It was a commission boat, yes.
Okay. And it was commissioned for
two gentlemen who were circumnavigated or came from South Africa and went to the Med and then over the Caribbean and then ended up in St. Augustine for quite some time, going back and forth to the Bahamas every 6 months. So.
Very good. That's a nice way to be able to travel.
Very nice.
So I'm John Floren with the Catamaran Company, and this is Neil's boat, God's Grace. And Neil is kind enough to meet up with us today to give you a brief synopsis of all of the things that he's done with the boat, to the boat, and to let everybody know how special of a boat it is, because she really is a beautiful boat. So Neil, I guess what I'll do is I'll kind of turn it over to you and let you just give us a conversation about.
Yeah, absolutely.
About the boat.
So the boat is an owner's version. I think there was only 8 owner's versions made in this model, and I think there's only a few left, sadly. This is 2010. The owners were meticulous when they had the boat built. They made a lot of modifications. The one gentleman was an engineer with British Aerospace, and so they redesigned the air intake system. The back teak deck is actually a couple feet bigger than the normal Voyage versions, which allows you to, even with the dinghy back there, allows you to traverse back and forth between hulls. And of course they did a lot of other things inside, analog readouts for the fuel tanks. You'll have 4 fuel tanks total. You'll have 3 diesel tanks with a total of 800 liters or 240 gallons of diesel. And we also have a unique situation where we have a 26-gallon gas tank, which is used for the dinghy, and there's a refueling port on the back sugar scoop. It has 2 Yanmar 3JH5Es, produce 40 horsepower apiece, and 2 H5 Bruton autoprops, which are the key to one of the keys to the speed of this vessel. At cruise, she'll run 8 to 10 knots pretty easily with no current, and of course you're getting a really good current. You're going a lot faster than that, and of course the sails. It's amazing setup. So it's a very comfortable boat. It's 27 feet wide and 50 feet long. But made a ton of modifications since I purchased the boat. Starting inside here, because the boat was made in South Africa, it was a 230 volt. Yeah, so it was a 230 volt boat. So I went ahead and I installed a Victron 120 volt system, inverter and charger in the boat, as well as I just put in a brand new Victron 230 volt charger inverter. And so you're capable of actually going anywhere in the world with this setup and hooking up to shore power. And both of those inverters will charge the batteries, which are lithium. And that has about a 1200
amp hour?
Amp hours, yes, 1200 amp hours, thank you. And in addition to that, I also put new solar on the boat, so you have 800 watts between two 400 solar panels that are managed by the Victron system, and as well as, we'll show you through the video, but a Sermo which monitors your battery usage and your voltage in and multitude of different things within the boat. On top of that, we have in the port hall, the boat was originally set up to dump all of the waste overboard. There was no holding tank, so when I first bought it, I had to convert that side and put a black water tank in the keel tank. So that all work has been done. On the starboard or captain side, I actually put in a composting head, so you've got both versions and you're in pretty good shape there.
And then you have air conditioning work that you
Yeah, so so there was no air conditioning on the boat when I got it. So on the starboard side, you'll have a 12 volt Mabru air conditioning system that will cool this area down. You've got an outlet here, and it cools the entire starboard hull down. On the port side, I just installed in June a 17,000 BTU unit that will keep the rest of the boat cool and cool down the port hull. That side is 120 volts, so you either need to run the generators if you're at, or running the engines if you're at sea, or hooked with shore power for both of them to work. But it does quite a great job of keeping this boat very, very cool, especially if you're sitting in a dock. And in addition to that, the boat has an upgraded stereo system, upgraded speakers, and even have two big speakers on the mast that you can hear on the front deck when you're out there. So it makes it kind of nice. On the back of the boat, which we'll see here soon, there is a completely rebuilt Zodiac tender that has a brand new Suzuki 25 horsepower motor, and I think it might have an hour, like 1.2 hours on it. And that was put on in 2024, or sorry, 2023. And then
Starlink?
Oh yes, Starlink, yes. So the system has actually two internet methods. You have an antenna that you can pick up internet locally, like at a marina, and it has a router that you can use for that. Or I also installed Starlink, so that will go with the boat, of course, and be transferred over. And that works absolutely amazingly. Can't say enough great things about it. Every place I've traveled, we've been able to have service, and it's worked wonderfully.
One of the other things that you were mentioning was there was time when you had the boat up on the hard for service and you had taken the mast down.
Oh yeah, so the boat had, unfortunately I was at a dock in Georgia and had a larger boat scraped the back hull, and it wasn't anything massive, but it caused some damage to the tables within the sugar scoop on both sides actually. So when I brought it back to St. Augustine to have the work done, the engines were taken out and the mast was taken off so it could go into a paint shop and be repaired internally. Because of that, it was actually a blessing, to be honest, because I was able to take the motors out. We went through the motors, we replaced all the hoses, we cleaned everything up, we redid everything on the boat, on the motors, and of course the engine rooms were completely redone and repainted. In addition to that, the generator was taken out. I had the generator completely serviced as well with all new belts and hoses, and that's a 230 volt, or sorry, it's a 4 kilowatt generator, Onan. And then the mast came down, and so when the mast came down, it allowed me to go ahead and change all of the lighting, all of the radome, all of the ropes, and polished the mast. I changed the boots on the the spreaders. Sorry, yeah, changed the boots on the spreaders and put brand new leather boots on those, and of course changed a lot of the wiring internally in the mast. So that was a very big job. I did all myself. It came out wonderfully, and then when they put it back on, of course, all the rigging was done. So that was just done in April of 24. So everything is in really good shape now. Ended up having an issue with the sail drives. So we just put brand new SD60 sail drives in the vessel. So now you've got that as well. Very excited about that. And so as a matter of fact, today I'm just putting the props back on the boat. I've gone through, the props require a little bit of service now and then, so I went ahead and serviced them and greased them and did all that, and they'll be put on the boat later this afternoon.
Awesome.
So yeah, there's so many things that I could sit probably talk here for about an
Well,
hour.
let's talk a little bit about the navionics on it, because you also have some special navionics on the boat as well.
I do. So one of the things that I'm a captain and I have a master's certificate, but one of the things that is very, very important to me is situational awareness. So, you've got your Brain Marine electronics, and those are all great, but I didn't have any forward-looking sonar. And during my research, there was only a few options, but I ended up putting a Garmin unit in, which gives me a forward-looking perspective, and of course I have side view as well, and it's invaluable. Because if you're going into a situation where it's a new area, and you're not familiar with it, and your charts say one thing, but that forward-looking sonar was going to save you. The boat only draws 3 feet 9 inches, but still, you want to know what's around you, rocks, reefs, things like that. So that really comes in handy, as well as acts as a secondary nav system for the boat. In addition to that, of course, the brand new radome and AIS, and you see you have a multitude of all the safety devices that you would expect. I also have all commercial life preservers on the boat and things like that. It's been everything I do. I try to do above board and above what you would find in a normal boat. You've got all your vendors, your life preservers, all the equipment that you would ever need is on board. You just need to bring your personal effects and some food,
and you're ready to travel the boat.
Yeah. There's some things we'll show you during the video as well, and some of the kind of cool things that the boat has that you might not find in a regular vessel.
Well, I think this would probably be a good spot where we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the boat.
Absolutely.
We'll start with the inside, and we'll go from there. Cool.
Excellent.
Let's do it. All right, so here we are again in God's grace, and we're going to take a look now first at the galley. And we see the seating and the tabling. And then, Neil, if you want to go up there, then you can kind of show us.
Also, I just mentioned, when I got the boat too, I had all the salon and all these reupholstered with sunbrella material. Anyway, you have a huge kitchen, gas stove. You have 3 propane tanks that are forward, and so you'll never run out of propane on the boat. You got 2 big sinks, and then you have a massive freezer, which I'll have John show you. It goes all the way across, so you'll have plenty of storage for long trips, definitively. You also have a small pantry downstairs and plenty of cabinet space for the for all your needs, for sure. There's also a microwave that you have as well.
There's the gas stove. Plenty of cabinetry. You want to just take a peek and see what we got for...
Oh, yeah. So you have plenty of cabinet space, tons of storage. You have your silverware. You have full size. You can have knives, specialty knives.
Then here we have a microwave.
Microwave drawers that
More drawers.
come out. Space to store your stuff. Some of this, these items will stay with the boat because they are 230 volt. And you'll have 230 volt plugs up here, and you have 120 up here. You have a 120 down on the bottom, and you have different areas in the boat that are 120 as well. And then you have this big storage cabinet as well. Tons and tons of room.
And the refrigerator here, we have one here.
And this is the refrigerator. It, even though we're on the hard, it's a nice balmy 30 degrees in the fridge.
Nice.
So,
perfect. All right. Well, I guess we can go on down.
yeah.
Check out the port side first. And of course we have our refuse. as well, right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go on down, and we'll traverse down here.
So on this side you'll have two master suite or
All
two
right.
suites.
So we'll take a look first in here. We have some collars. Here's the bunk.
Yep. And these are queen size bunks on the port side.
Goes all the way back here.
Yeah, and those are the cushions. Those are all new as well. They for the outside cockpit area.
Gotta have a head here. And we'll
And then here you have your, and if you open the center one up, you'll see your new air conditioning.
There's the air conditioner. Nice, easy access for that, that's for sure. And I got another little area down here for storage. All right, beautiful. Okay, we'll continue on.
This is the a big cushion for the back deck, which really likes the sun's. It's a sun deck. It's perfect. In here you have a wash machine. It's not a dryer, just a wash machine. You have an area with a little sink. You have a pantry area where you can have items in here, all the way down. This cabinet here is for your water maker, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So we have a 60 gallon per hour water maker on the vessel. And that is up here. And it is pickled right now. You also have storage back here for tools or whatever you need, things that you'll need to want handy. Right here is your meters for all your water tanks and your black water tank. So they all operational. More cabinet space up here. And down here you have your passivating tank for the water maker, and more storage, filters and things like that. Everything's very, very handy. And then forward is the secondary master suite. And we have two big bean bags that will go with the boat, and they're great out on the front deck or on the back with the dinghies in the water. Here's your table for the cockpit area. It is actually was just recently painted, and so I have it down here now, but it's pretty easy to assemble and set up when you're en route somewhere. So, and again, queen size bed up here. And then again, plenty of storage. You've got more cabinets behind where John is, and then the forward head. And there's our stand-up showers. And yeah, these are all cushions for the Zodiac. And then, yeah.
And then in the floor, Neil, what do we have?
These are all that's a bilge area,
Okay.
but they're your switches for doing your waste overboard instead of going through the head. Access to all of your different plumbing issues, plumbing, the bilge here, your water tanks, and things like that.
Okay, beautiful. Fans throughout the boat. And we'll go back up. Now we'll head over to the owner's side and the starboard side here.
Oh, here you have your sermo, which gives you, it's basically tells you everything you need to know about the boat, and you can hook in a multitude of other devices into this as well, depending on what you have. There is also a different version of it, different windows that you can look at. So.
And this is the master side bathroom head. There's the composting toilet. You have your sink area, and then a really nice walk-in shower that works really well. Beautiful. And
yes, and then in here, this is what I call the garage. It is where your gas tank and one of the diesel tanks are. The diesel tank that's actually being used for the engines at any given time. The two forward diesel tanks are, you have pumps to feed those to fill from the front to the back. So
a massive storage area, as you can see. It goes all the way back.
Yeah. There's tons of extra parts with the boat that come with it, filters and different parts. All that is included, of course, including the tool set there. So, and you can show them these the cabinets.
Take a look at these large cabinets. Lots of storage space in this boat. Lots of storage space. And we'll head back here. And we have the work station.
Yeah, nice desk with a chair and a little drawer. Of course, more storage everywhere.
Little seating area over here. More storage here. And then we'll go right on back to the...
And this is your 12-volt air conditioning unit.
Again, very easy access.
And then the master suite. So this is a queen-size bed, fairly new as well. You can fit a king in here, although I would say it'd be a challenge to get through here, but it fits nicely and it's very comfortable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you have your own TV, storage area. You have the ability to start the generator from in here as well.
That's nice.
And then, of course, your closet.
And the master closet, your hanging area. Lots more storage. Lots of storage on this boat. Very nice.
One of the things I like about the boat, and I've seen many and been on many, you'll see there's a lack of wood. Some people might like that, some people might hate it, but there is no mildew, there is no mold, there is no staining. So when it comes to the fact that, you know, when you've gone a lot of these boats, especially some boats are a little older, you'll notice things like that, and they'll hold smells, and there's nothing here. You'll notice that when you come on, but that's the first thing people say to me: the boat doesn't smell.
Yes, no, it doesn't. Very nice. Keeps it very clean this way. All right. Well, that kind of wraps up our general tour, and we'll bring you and do a walk on the outside after this, so you can see that as well on God's grace. Here we go.
It's the Helm area, and of course, everything, you have access to everything here. I try to keep everything covered, especially when it comes to electronics. Your dashes are all here. You also have a remote for your anchor at the helm here, which is kind of nice. also has Fireboy on them, so if you ever have an issue, it's got a halon system in the engine rooms that will take care of that.
Very good.
And then this is the Garmin unit that has the forward-looking sonar on it that you will have on when you're motoring.
And then all electric winches.
Oh yeah, all the winches are electric, which makes it really, really easy and nice as well. So you have plenty of storage. Excuse the mess, we're cleaning day, but you have plenty of storage in the lockers under this cabin here for a multitude of different things. So. Want to get that? I mean, not that it's a big deal, but
The sunroof.
Yep.
So you can open that up.
You can open that as you're motoring out. And of course, there's curtains that go in if you need them that are in the cabin.
Take a open that if you would, Neil, and we'll have a peek at the engine room.
So this is the Starboard motor, new sail drives. Everything was just freshly installed back together. Oh, one of the things I wanted to talk about too, when we did all this work, you got two hot water heaters, port and starboard. They're 30-liter heaters, and I rebuilt both of those, completely brand new from the inside out.
Very nice. Very large ladders for when you're swimming off the back.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then your Starlink is mounted, had that custom made so it stays out of the way of everything, and it will track as you're going along.
Move forward.
Screens on the inside, you've probably noticed they have aluminum. That helps keep the boat cool in the summertime. And then of course outside we have screens that cover up the windows, and that helps as well. Gives a little more privacy, as well as this whole area's been wrapped with a carbon fiber wrap. Easy to clean, no staining, and that's been done on the front and rear crossbars as well.
Come up to the trampolines.
The trampolines are fairly new. They're in great shape, as you can tell. You have you have your main anchor, and then you have an extra anchor in case you're in a situation where you need it. There's extra chain and rope for the chain locker. And then all the teak, I use a sealant on that. It works great. You apply it every 7 to 9 months, and it keeps it really well. Putting anything harsh on there is never a good idea.
All these are storage.
Yeah, so you have your, and these two right here are for your owner's cabin. This forward here is your, it's for your propane tanks. And you have 3 tanks in there. This is your chain locker and your anchor.
Beautiful. Very good.
That's for your cabin on your port side, and or that one there. This one is storage. So this is where we keep the other 2 fuel tanks are. I also keep fenders down here and some extra fuel tanks. When you're transferring fuel, there are 2 levers on each side. So when you turn the pump on from inside, you have to pick which fuel tank you're going to pump from.
also on the boat we do have wind power as well.
Yep, a wind generator that produces some energy as well. You want to go on top here? Oh, on top, yeah, you'll see that there's speakers out here that are controlled with the stereo system. The radome is new, all the lighting is new, ropes. And then if you come this way, resurfaced and painted, and of course your new solar panels.
Yeah, right. Lots of space to lay around and enjoy warm weather. Today's not a warm day. All right, and we'll come back around here and have all of our lines coming back to the cockpit. Everything can be controlled from the cockpit. Very nice. So here we are down at Neil's work station here, and take a look at the props that he was talking about earlier that give this boat such a special speed, and that makes it really nice for getting someplace if you need to. And they're all redone now and ready to go back on to the brand new sail drives. And we'll just take a quick walk around the boat itself. You can see the new sail drive ready to go. The bottom is all new paint.
Yeah, and the paint on here is the platinum marble, I believe. So it's got 3 years before it needs to another bottom paint.
Ready to go. Pretty much concludes our tour. Neil, thank you.
You're welcome.
And come see God's Grace. It's a beautiful boat, ready to go anywhere in the world.